Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. This time around we will be on Tuchanka. I'll be using Garrus and Javik. And I will attempt to try out the Scorpion pistol again, only this time using it as a short-range weapon. And I have to say, not going to do that again. It was really awkward to use. It worked well enough, I suppose, but it was just awkward to use, clunky. And you have to react so quickly that I just can't measure. I haven't used the weapon enough to know exactly how many shots it takes to do so much damage. I've only really used it once or twice. So, and you don't need to do that. You don't need to really conserve shots with it, I guess. I mean, I didn't really have a lot of trouble with running out of ammo, but just, I don't know. It helps to have trigger discipline with the weapon to conserve ammo, and I feel like that's the optimal way to use it. And I was just spamming shots, so I feel like I'm just not using it properly. So I don't like it. I don't like it. It's fine for a long-range weapon, but I don't really want to use it as a close-quarters weapon. So I'm going to be dumping it, and I will be using different stuff next time around. But just quickly getting my party members set to go. There's going to be some plot before we actually get underway, so I will cut out when that happens. All in all, this mission went very well. No deaths, I believe. And it was very fun. This is against the Reapers, so it was a nice change of pace. I am still using Dark Channel. I do remember more to use it as a way to set up biotic detonations now, but I'm still not a huge fan of it. It's fine for what it does. I just don't really think it helps me out that much. Especially since I could just use pull to do the same thing, and that's really all I use it for at this point. Very rarely using it just on harder targets like brutes or Atlas mechs or whatever, or turrets to do a little bit more damage, but I'll probably wind up speccing out of it when I have unlocked something more useful. And I did spec charge for power damage and force on the next hit. I'll probably wind up respeccing that to just weapon damage. Oh, and since we're here anyway, yeah, I'm putting Surkesh here. Even though we're not on Surkesh, we are on Tuchanka. I didn't get the opportunity to show you the planet in the last video, so here you go. But I'll be back in a bit.
This crash site's a nightmare. Edie, try to raise Lieutenant Victus.
Yes, sir.
Praetorian Commander, what happened here is... let's just say the Turian Code is not forgiving. And that it's his son is bad for the Primarch. Promoting family without merit can bite you in the ass. What's strange is the Primarch knows that.
Commander, I have to land well back from the main crash site.
That the best you can do?
Yes, sir. But the Reapers seem unaware of our presence. You might get the jump on them.
All right, set her down. Let's save this platoon. Edie, did you raise Lieutenant Victus?
Yes, but the connection is bad.
Patch me in. This is Commander Shepard, Alliance Navy. Do you read?
This is Lieutenant Tarquin Victus of the 9th Platoon. We're pinned by Reaper harvesters and taking heavy casualties. Also, there are pockets of my men scattered along the crash trajectory.
Lieutenant, I need you to fire a flare so I can find your position. Got it.
Things get worse by the minute. My men are dying.
This sounds bad. Let's move.
Okay, so that's out of the way. Before I cut out, a bit before, I was mentioning that I spec'd charge into its power damage evolution, its plus power damage and force evolution immediately after a charge for something like 25 seconds, or 15 seconds. Probably, oh, I don't know. It was one of those. Anyway, I did that because theoretically it will make your Nova, you know, do a lot more damage or whatever, but at the end of the day, I don't really know if I really need that, because at this point, I really only use Nova more to just control enemies. I do use it to deal with groups of red bars and to do damage to them, but it does that fine without that particular evolution. I mean, it's fine. I don't really need it to do 25% more damage. It'll just kill them faster. But I don't care about that. I use it more for its control function. The damage is gravy, and by the time they get up after being knocked all over the place, another charge is usually ready anyway. So I'll be able to use another Nova. So it just doesn't really seem necessary to me. I would rather, I think, have the plus weapon damage, even if it's just for a few seconds, which is basically just, you know, you can shoot that guy once after your charge with the shotgun, with a slower shotgun. I'd rather just make sure that target dies, especially if it's a Marauder or a Centurion or an Engineer or whatever, because a lot of the time they're just left with a sliver of health.
Escape pod just beyond.
I'm not going to let you guys skip this, it's short.
Enemies up ahead don't know we're here.
Surprise on our side for once. I like it.
Exactly. Let's go.
So here I actually am going to use Dark Channel. I'm going to just try to set up a warp bomb myself, because it does work. I think the time I said it didn't work on Surkesh, it actually did, and I just didn't realize it or something. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Clearly it did work there, though. And it basically just killed everything. Though I'm hearing another guy. There we go. And this mission is the one where I had a ton of trouble on my Engineer. It's the one where I said had the hardest fight in the game. I still think this probably is the hardest fight in the game, to be honest, even after doing Grissom Academy and after doing the final sequence. I'm not sure how the final sequence will go on a Vanguard, but Grissom Academy definitely was far, far easier than this. Grissom Academy really isn't that bad once you know the strategy for dealing with it. The execution is not a huge deal once you know what to do. It's still hard. I mean, it's hard, but I don't think it's the hardest fight. A lot of players do, but it probably just depends on the player of what, in the class, what you think is the hardest fight. For me, it's generally this one. Not what we're doing right now, but at the very end of this mission is what I'm talking about. This fight is obviously nothing. It was like 3 guys. And I one-shot this mission. I didn't die in the final fight of this mission. It was difficult, but I really didn't have too much of a problem. It wasn't really that bad on a Vanguard. I was able to just... Well, you'll see. I mean, why am I talking about it now?
Thank you. Don't stop for us.
So, that was our little introduction. It does get a little dicier as time goes on.
They'll live to fight another battle.
And yeah, I picked up the Tempest. I'm trying it out. It doesn't do enough damage for me. I was hoping it would be a nice, lightweight, long-range tool, but
We need to find the main crash
at least with armor-piercing ammo, it's really not doing the job at all.
Being the son of Adrian Victus is a lot to live up to. It's a big military...
At least I feel that way after using it more throughout the mission. Which kind of sucks, because that really just leaves the Hornet, which personally I think is awful. It's really hard to hit repeatedly with it. It just has a lot of kick. So, and I just don't like it. Not going to be using the Facetin, or the Feastin, or the Fistin, or however the hell you want to pronounce it. I'll be pronouncing it Facetin. And then also the Locust, but I don't remember the Locust doing too great a damage either. That wasn't really its thing. It was more good damage over time, but not, I mean, slowly, and very good accuracy. I don't know, we shall see. I still haven't found a long-range weapon that I particularly like to complement this character. So here I see a couple guys, just one shielded enemy, so of course drop his shield, rush in, and that's basically it. Thus ends that threat. I'm attempting to hit him with the Scorpion, but I'm missing. It's just kind of hard to use on enemies after a charge, just because the charge itself is kind of disorienting, and you need really pinpoint accuracy to use this weapon, and it's going to take at least, I would think, 2 grenades to finish a guy off, assuming they have a full red bar after the charge, or even, you know, like 3/4 of a red bar. It's going to take at least 2 grenades. Again, these are level 1 weapons. I will once again be using level 1 weapons throughout the entirety of the game, because I just don't feel like upgrading them. It's not even that, I just feel like after upgrading them it'll make things trivial, because I already don't really have that much trouble at all, and I don't want to make things boring, you know? I'm going to leave them at level 1. I'm not really buying upgrades either, I'm just finding them as I go, which is what I did in the Engineer playthrough. I'm also not purchasing the global upgrades that you get from Liara's terminal, from the Shadow Broker terminal, so basically all I really have are the weapons I find, plus my powers and my levels, and that alone, I mean, just leveling up makes the game so much easier as time goes on. And then also my armor.
Over here. This way.
But I'll be using, and I'm still using, mostly shield bonus stuff rather than damage bonus stuff, unlike in my Engineer playthrough where I use mostly damage bonus stuff and headshot stuff.
We're on our way.
But I'm going with plus shields in the attempt to make my Nova do more damage. Excuse me, and I'm fine with that, I just don't really think I want the charge evolution that makes it do more damage. I'd just rather have the plus bullet damage. Again, going back to what I was talking about way earlier.
How will the commander leave this down?
When we find him, we'll ask.
So again, guys, I mean, this doesn't take too long, so I didn't feel like I needed to let you guys skip it. And here we go, some husks. Husks literally are nothing. They literally... There could be 10,000 of them, literally 10,000 of them, and I would have no trouble whatsoever killing them. They're absolutely nothing against a Vanguard. I take that back. If there were 10,000 of them, and I had, like, a huge penalty to cooldown on charge or something, then it might be difficult. Like, if I had negative 200% or whatever the negative cap is, then it would probably be really, really hard to deal with them, but as it stands, not really. Or if Nova had a target cap or something. I don't want to sound cocky or anything. And so... Even here, I'm not really too worried about the Harvester. As you saw, he was kind of a threat on my Engineer, but the way that these guys are positioning themselves makes them very easy to charge and survive. Though I guess I just wanted to kill that Marauder real quick to be safe. This Scorpion doesn't seem to do great damage against armor, actually, against the Harvester. Plus, I didn't really want to waste all my shots on the Harvester. At least on the last one. This one I don't seem to care. I'm also really tired right now, guys. I don't know if you can tell. Pretty late in my day. But whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like the Scorpion that much. I mean, it's a powerful weapon, but I dislike the delay until it does damage. It's not a huge deal, but it's also really heavy for a pistol, and I don't know. It's an okay weapon. It just doesn't... I won't say I don't like it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Let's pick
I
it
just
up.
don't
It's
like it
important
for
we
my
don't lose
play
this squad.
style. It's a fine weapon. I just don't like it for the way I particularly play, especially on a Vanguard. But I didn't really like it that much on my Engineer either. I didn't really use it that long on my Engineer.
And
It's fun.
Work together, so let's not
It
complicate
just doesn't suit what I want to do. So we are approaching the final fight of this mission. I believe the hard fight that I had so much trouble with on my Engineer. And it was actually really fun. This video is about to actually get interesting. Everything else has just been easy mode, really. I'm using the Sentry interface, by the way, as my helmet this time, which is plus 10% shields, if you were wondering. I don't know if I've talked about that before, but I know it's going to come. I know that there's going to be many enemies coming in, and I want to be a little cautious. I do know how easy it is to get overwhelmed in this fight, and here comes the Brute. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to kill the Brute first, or if I wanted to take out these guys first, and of course the second I charged, a freaking comet came and another Marauder dropped down here. The very second I committed to that strategy, so that was great. And everything's on cooldown. But fortunately, he goes into his power-up thing for a split second and allows me to get a charge on him. And now he's at red bar, so now I can just concussive shot him away and not worry about him anymore. But I really need him to go away forever. And here's a brute. And he just barely missed me. But not a problem. Guy spawned over here. Definitely one of my favorite uses of charge. Just simple repositioning. Came very close to death here. Managed to get another quick charge. Trying to get my surroundings. Trying not to get flanked. It's very easy to get flanked here. And this seems like a bad idea. So I'm looking for an out right now. And I see this guy all the way over here. Huzzah. And I thought that that would kill him, but I don't think it did. No, it didn't. Yeah, for some reason, some of those grenades missed. I don't know what that was about. But now I'm just trying to finish him off. And this is why I was talking about how I didn't think the Tempest really did enough damage for my purposes. Yeah, because I tried to kill this single cannibal with the Tempest, and I do realize that he was getting healing from eating corpses or whatever, or getting empowered by a Marauder. But still, this is, as you can see, it's just not doing enough damage at all, to the point that I wind up giving up. Just the hell with it. This thing is shooting spitballs at this guy. Whatever, I'm done with it. And the brute's starting to close on me, so I just immediately go back to the cannibal, finish him off. And again, I'm not actually realizing how much Metagel I have right now. I would have used it. I thought I was out. I couldn't believe how much I had at this point in the fight already. That's why I'm taking so long to use Metagel. I mean, it would also resurrect my party members, but I finally realized, holy crap, I have 5 Metagel right now. How is this fight going so well? I'm getting low on ammo now for the Scorpion, but not to worry. Lift Grenade, send it into a biotic detonation. That was awesome. I love Javik's Lift Grenade. If nothing else, just the fact that he has Lift Grenade makes me want to use him. I won't be using him once I get Ashley again, but gotta love Lift Grenade. I will enjoy using it on my Sentinel. So now I'm actually charging the Brute. I want to get away from those guys, get out of that kind of death trap I was in, and the Brute's actually pretty hurt. My party members have been doing a lot of damage to him. And a quick roll away. And now I feel like another charge will probably kill him. And there he goes. Boom, he's gone. Brute's gone. I know that one of the hardest parts of the fight is over. The second hardest being just getting the Black Star to use on the Harvester. But now I see an opening, so I'm trying to just sort of weasel my way up to the Reaper Black Star. I res my party members for a bit of support. I think I just used pull for some reason. And this guy's starting to flank, and I don't want him to. I don't want it. Go away. No, thank you. And the area is pretty well controlled at this point. I'm actually kind of just waiting for the Harvester to come. It's not actually here yet. So I'm kind of just wasting time, I guess, really. Waiting for time to pass. I actually figured he'd be here by now, so I even pick up the Black Star in preparation. But I wind up dropping it because these guys are moving a little too far. I'm, of course, not going to use it on them. So there, I drop it. I am waiting for the Harvester to come. And I was tempted to charge over there, but really want to be in position when the Harvester comes. And now everybody's dead. So, again, yeah, there he comes. It's what I figured was going to happen. So I'm going to just probably use a Lift Grenade to control these guys, so I have an opening to use the Black Star on the Harvester. Unfortunately, the one Marauder wasn't at red bar yet, but I realized it and didn't care. Making sure that I didn't hit the lip of this thing, of this piece of rubble. Managed to hit the Harvester. Harvester's gone. This fight is essentially over. And then I die right here. No, that would have sucked, though. I actually almost did. But I had plenty of Metagel, and my charge was about over. So I think it would have been okay, even though they despawned. That's it, guys. Next is some plot. So I'm going to cut out. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. A couple plot videos coming up, and then some more combat. Have a good one.
This way.
Lieutenant Victus?
Commander Shepard, my men and I are in your debt. Thank you for saving so many.
What happened here?
He screwed up.
Stand down, soldier.
These men are dead because of him.
I said, stand down.
Hey, I just saved all your asses, so everyone just calm down. Lieutenant, what's going on here?
I made a bad call. This is all on me. I chose caution and clever tactics over a head-on attack. And my men paid the price.
You mean the crash?
Yes. We could see on Hollow that Reaper forces were blocking our intended path. Staying on course guaranteed heavy casualties. So I chose a safer route, skirting the enemy. And that took us low and through these ruins. When we encountered resistance, there was no room to maneuver. Suddenly, we were in a fight for our lives. A lot of my men lost that fight.
Owning your mistake takes guts. But you have to get over it and move on.
Of course. It's just fresh right now. Our mission's still a failure. When we've stabilized the injured, we'll head back to the fleet.
You're abandoning your mission?
We're down over 30 men. It'd be suicide.
What exactly did you come here to do?
There's a bomb on the planet. We were sent to defuse it.
A bomb? How big?
Enormous. Cerberus has it.
Lieutenant, if Cerberus has that bomb, you have to finish your mission.
Haven't these men sacrificed enough?
I understand. This kind of sacrifice is the hardest to ask for, but your men signed on for it. And so did you.
My men have lost hope, Commander. Even if I wanted to finish the mission, they don't.
It's your job to make them want to.
How?
Their sacrifice means that others will never face what they faced here today. Remind them that those sacrifices have no honor if the mission fails.
Men, I own what happened here today. But we have to carry on.
No, we don't. Who cares about a few dead Krogan? It's over.
We are Turian, and we will not let Cerberus succeed. Our sacrifice is the difference between life and death for this entire galaxy. Let the heroes of the 9th Platoon be remembered for performing their duties with bravery. All right, men. Shuttle's arriving any minute. We're moving out. Commander, come with us. We're a shell of what we were. We could use the help.
Send me the nav point. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. That'll give us time to do a little recon. See what we're up against.
Victus, you have a second chance here. Make their sacrifice count.
Understood, Commander. Hope to see you at the rendezvous.